Hi, I'm Jonathan from the Crankshaft Journal. Well, for starters, Happy New Year. It's January 12th. You know, we're less than 2 weeks in, and I've already experienced the utmost joy and the depths of despair. So it makes me want to change the subject to something that we can have a little bit of control over, like winter projects. We're still in an era of isolation with quarantines, distancing, lockdowns. It's really important to have something to work on that you enjoy while you're spending all that time by yourself. And an old bike is always a good choice, in my opinion. And I'm lucky to have one that I'm just starting to dig into now. It's a 1982 Suzuki GS 1100G. And I got the bike through a friend of a friend who had inherited it from a dearly departed relative. All right, every bike has a story. The punchline with this one is that it has just about 3,000 miles on the odometer, a little bit less. So I'm thinking, okay, it's almost 40 years old, not quite 3,000 miles. What does that mean exactly? Is it going to be mint, like a perfect time capsule, or is it going to be a wreck? Because, you know, a lot of times the worst thing you can do to a motorcycle is park it for a long time. So, short story is I'm still trying to figure out where it lands in that on that spectrum. It's not a wreck, but it's not perfect. It has a lot of needs. One of the things it needs is a new front wheel, because in the short time that bike was on the road, it took some hard knocks, and they're really obvious in these dents on the front wheel along the rim. Now, often, when a rim gets bent like this, it keeps the tubeless tire from sealing properly against the rim and lets the air escape. Now, I'm not sure if this one is that bad, but when I got the bike, the front tire was flat. Now, was it because of the dents, or was it due to maybe a decade or two of dry rot? It could be either, but I don't want to risk it, so I ordered a new rim, new to me, from eBay, from a seller on eBay, and it just arrived. It should be a perfect match for this one, only with a straight rim. That's how it was described, and that's how it looked in the pictures. It looked pretty good. Of course, you're always taking a leap of faith when you order used parts. I've had pretty good luck so far, and while I'm not big on unboxing, I'm going to unbox this old rim and come along if you like, and I'll see what we have. I'm hoping that what I'm getting is better than better than what I already have. Let's take a peek. In the fall of 1998, I was working at a business newspaper writing about companies that were making initial public offerings. Most were small outfits trying to grow bigger by selling shares on the stock exchange. Enter eBay. This curious concern went public when lots of people had heard about the internet, but hardly anyone actually used it. Indeed, many people were still suspicious of this so-called information superhighway, so you can imagine how those folks responded to the notion of an online auction platform that seemed a bit like the Wild West. That will never work. Well, fast forward 20-odd years and tens of billions of dollars in market cap, and here I am receiving an old motorcycle wheel through eBay. Like all of my eBay purchases so far, this one turned out fine. This is the wheel I need, exactly as the seller described it. Not quite perfect, but certainly not bent. The bearings feel good, nice and smooth. It's accurately labeled, which is an encouraging detail. Really nice condition. You couldn't expect to find a nicer, almost 40-year-old motorcycle wheel. This is going to look nice on my 82 Suzuki GS. It has all the right markings, made in Japan, designed for tubeless tires. And the details are nice. The black paint and the polished rim, just what I was looking for. A company called Enki manufactured these rims as original equipment for Suzuki and was well known for lightweight aftermarket wheels for cars and bikes. The rim's size is also cast in, confirming this is the right wheel for my machine. Here's the old and the new. All we need is a new tire and we're in business. So I let a couple of weeks slip by, mainly because it was harder than I expected to get and mount the new tires on the Suzuki. But here's the new to me front wheel, and I have the rear as well, which weighs about a ton. It was in better shape than the front, so this is the original rear. Remember, it's a shaft drive bike, that's why we have the splines and everything here. Both wheels have thoroughly modern Bridgestone Batlax tires now, so the bike should handle a lot better, certainly better than it did in '82. Now, a couple of closing notes. Tires for these old bikes can be hard to find, mainly because they tend to be pretty skinny, narrow, compared with the wide, meaty tires that you find even on smaller bikes today. Make these look like bicycle tires. But those odd sizes are out there. It just takes a little bit more searching sometimes. And also, these mag wheels, they were still fairly new in the late 70s and early 80s. Some traditionalists didn't like them because they were such a break from the spoked wheels that had been around for decades. But the mags were stronger, stiffer, so they handled better, and they tended to even be lighter. So it all translated to durability, which means there are a lot of these around, a lot of survivors. You can find nice ones on the used market, often for not much money. So if you're working on an old bike with mag wheels that are broken or just ratty looking beyond repair, you're in luck. They're out there. You just have to search a bit, be patient. Now, as soon as we get these mounted, well, we can move on to the next project. Let's see, what's it going to be? Gas tank? Seat? There's so many possibilities. Anyway, you can follow along. We'll be checking in with whatever the next step happens to be. Thanks for watching.